Hey there out there in salon ownership land. This is John Farr. I have been working with tanning salons for 33 years. They call me the salon doctor. Anyway, listen, one of the things that is very important to try to drive your business and make it stronger than what it already is having what I call rock stars, either people behind the counter, people managing those counters, or rock star owners even. So I work with all of the above. I have been working with salons for 33 years, and I've seen some of the best, and I've had the pleasure of working with some of the best. And what that means is people that are particularly good at EFT close rates, incredibly powerful thing in our business, and selling lotions. Super, super important. But it's not just working with the owners. I work with managers too to help develop them. You have to have managers, you have to have rock stars that are working for you. And there's not that many rock stars out there. It's a small percentage, but we work on that. And so I got to tell you, I've been managing people for 54 years, and this is something I like to do. And here's a rock star example I want to show you right now. So watch this and see what you say. If you like it, sign up for the free consultation.
Hello, everybody. This is John Ribner. I'm considered the physician's assistant to the salon doctor, Mr. John Farr. And we're working on his Rockstar Manager series. And today we have a special treat. We're talking with Lindsay Olsen, general manager of Chili Peppers Tanning in Michigan. Hello, Lindsay. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Boy, I tell you what, I was talking with John about you, and he really cannot say enough good things about you. In fact, he describes you as the ultimate rock star manager, and so of course I asked him to explain that, and he basically told me that you really have what he calls a command presence. He described that as the ability to lead, kind of a take charge outlook towards things, and he just also described you as you're a person who just makes things happen. He also said you have great communication skills, both upward and downward within the organization. He said a lot about your initiative. You develop the employees you work with and delegate certain duties to the management staff. He said you're constantly looking for ways to improve sales numbers, and I'm sure your owners of the salon appreciate that. He even said you did an excellent job with a recent software conversion he had talked about.
Yes, yep. We switched from Helios to Tanlink in the last couple of years.
Yeah, how is that process? I've been in companies that switched major platforms like that. It was always a nightmare. How was that for you guys?
Yeah, it was a little tricky at first. We decided to go with Tanlink though because they had the features we were looking for, and also the conversion was going to be easier than any other software they have to offer out there right now, especially with the EFTs. And once we got the new system, it was tough getting familiar with the back end of it.
Yeah,
The front end for the staff members was actually a lot easier to learn, so that's great for them.
sure.
For upper management things, it was a little while. I still am learning about the program, but
Yeah.
it wasn't too terrible.
Great, great. Yeah, he had a lot of, like I say, he had a lot of great things to say about you. Let's go back in time a little bit, though. I'm sure that you were with Chili Peppers Tanning when the owner decided to seek the advice and services of a business consultant. Is that correct?
Yep, I've been with Chili Peppers for 15 years now, and I actually was the one that sought out John. I found him, I think, over Facebook,
Uh huh.
and we were very curious to see what he had to say. So I cleared it with the business owner, and then I
Hmm.
communicated with him initially.
Oh, okay. So clearly it was you who chose, pretty much you who chose John Farr.
Yes.
Why him? I mean, there are some other consultants out there. Why John?
Well, at the time, his credentials and what we were looking for at the time, it fit our needs. We were looking for, we had just started our EFTs.
Uh huh.
When the gyms started coming out with EFTs,
Oh
they're our
yeah.
biggest competition right now.
Yep.
Uh, so we had a lot of other package options too at the time because that's what tanning was, back in the day, 3 visits, 5 visits, 10 visits, 15 visits,
Yep.
and a whole bunch of monthly rates as well. So we wanted his help in condensing our pricing menu, and also he had a lot of HR background that we were interested in hearing
Yes.
about. So he really helped develop me in my position too when I worked with him. But that was just the first time we worked with him was to condense our pricing menu.
Oh, so that was like really like the first, sort of like the first assignment was the condensing the pricing menu.
Yeah, we worked with him for a total of three different times, I believe. And
Oh,
the
okay.
first, yeah, the first time was for that. The second time was more about the leadership. He came to Michigan here and did like a leadership training with my team.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third time was more like diving into our numbers and kind of seeing where we could save in payroll.
Awesome. Well, what were your first, like your initial impressions of John?
He was very knowledgeable. He taught me a lot in that time. I was still developing in my own position, so he kind of helped me, with my leadership skills and those things. So, as much as the nice things he has to say about me, I have to credit some of it to him at the very least because he really did help to train and teach me in leadership skills.
Great, great. Well, tell us like some of the things he did to help build your skills for managing the salon and its employees, and as well as improving the salon.
Yeah, he definitely helped me learn how to seek out the right type of employees for this business. Sales is not for everyone, so picking and choosing how to interview people, asking the right questions. He helped me develop some interview questions for management that we didn't have in place quite yet. He had also helped us go through our handbook and make sure we were covered in all areas, protection wise. And for me personally, he helped me look into different types of numbers that I wouldn't necessarily have looked at had he not pointed them out to me in our
Mm-hmm.
system. So it definitely helped me with projecting numbers for future years and seeing how we would be able to achieve those numbers.
Excellent. I'd like to dive into the HR issues a little bit because I've been in and out of this industry for over 15 years, and I still go on the forums, the Facebook forums for tanning salons, and you'll see all sorts of questions people asking on those forums, everything from, how do I get a new canopy for such and such unit to, how do I improve my EFT sales? One thing I see not a lot of people asking about are those critical HR issues like interviewing, hiring, redirecting salon employees that might need a little help. All of those things, which John is clearly easily the industry expert on. How was that for you learning about these things that aren't always a priority for other salon owners and managers?
It was a good experience. He definitely taught me how to look for the right traits in certain people, how to weed out the ones that weren't necessarily going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
He helped me build like a review structure for staff
Mm-hmm.
members with a point system,
Mm-hmm.
so that we were able to put them on performance plans if necessary, or like you said, redirect them in a different way um, with training development, things like that.
Gotcha. And what position were you with the salon when John first became involved? Were you already a manager at that point, or?
I was already the general manager for all locations. I can't remember how many locations we had when we hired him initially. Now we have 19 locations, corporate locations, and then we have 9 franchise locations.
Wow, that is quite an impressive number there. You guys clearly are doing many things right, not just one thing, I'm sure. You mentioned how he helped condense the menu, in which we're talking EFT pricing. What about incentive programs? He helped you there. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, he definitely did. He helped us with our EFT bonus structure. So he would talk about how it was important to pay a hefty bonus on each membership sold because it's peanuts compared to what you'll make on that guest or client that continues to have their EFT drafts on a monthly basis. So we do have pretty competitive EFT bonuses compared to some local salons around us, and
Mm-hmm.
even some other salons that John's told me about that don't pay as well as we do for our EFT bonuses. But now the staff have opportunity to make not only their hourly wage, but they have their roasting commission and also their EFT bonuses.
Gotcha. So it's not just the lotion sales bonuses that matter. Clearly.
Right, exactly. Yep. It was definitely something that was new to the salon to sell memberships. It was tough initially to sell memberships because tanners weren't used to that structure yet.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to convince them to sign up for X amount to commit, really, to commit to a certain time or to have that credit card on file and have it on a monthly basis. So to incentivize the staff to really push those EFTs was very important.
Great, great. And he had given you a lot of insight into how to do that.
Exactly. Yep.
Awesome. He also wanted me to ask you about your lost opportunities research that you did for the salon. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yes, that was the most recent time we worked together, which was a couple years ago. He really helped me look into certain reports, and we were going through employees that worked for a year or less because we were basically trying to show how many lost opportunities we had with staff members behind the counter that were being hired in that weren't going to be those salespeople that you needed. And all of that time or the hours spent when those people were behind the counter, there were lost opportunities because they would say, "You're all set in room 5." There was no consultation going on, there was no
Hmm.
questions being asked, and there were no sales being made. So that is how he showed me the reports to look at to prove how much was lost in that aspect and why it's so important to hire the right people in the first place.
I believe John calls that the 90-second syndrome. If somebody, an employee behind the counter, only spends 90 seconds or less talking to a tanner, there are sales opportunities that are lost there.
Exactly.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, thanks for sharing that. Overall, what would you say was John's biggest impact on Chili Peppers Tanning?
Honestly, I would have to say it was just growing me in my leadership. Definitely condensing the pricing menu because we had no idea where to even start with that. But the first time we worked together was for a very lengthy period of time. I can't remember exactly how long, but it's the longest time frame. And we were in communications almost every single day. So, we talk about everything, top to bottom. Give me lots of different tips and tricks. Um, Again, with the reports, he taught me a lot of what I was looking at, what I should be looking for. But
Hmm.
growing me in my leadership skills and helping me learn how to manage managers and manage staff members and overall leadership.
Now, if you were talking to another tanning salon owner, because many of them are going to be watching these videos, what would you say to them if they didn't think HR skills are important?
HR is very important, and a lot of our salons don't obviously have HR experience in, but knowing the different things that we should be covered for and being careful of, things that could happen with employment and things that they could do if we don't have ourselves covered in the handbook. Um, Ways of interviewing people and the right questions to ask and how to read body language and eye contact. All of that is very important. It taught us a lot in the aspect of HR.
Great, great. Well, along those same lines, then, John is very well known both in the industry as a whole. Uh, People love him at the trade shows. He's always on the forums answering questions. There's probably a lot of tanning salon owners out there who are going to be, again, watching this video. Maybe they feel it's time to level up. They've done everything they can, but they know there's more that can be done. That would be a great opportunity to work with somebody. Well, work with John Farr. What would you say if you had anything to say to encourage salon owners out there to take that leap to work with John as a consultant? What would it be?
I would tell them that, as much as we think that we have all of the knowledge for each of our salons, there's always more to learn and there's more to improve upon. And with
Hmm.
John's years of experience and all the different people that he's dealt with in his life, he just has words of wisdom and a lot of different stories to tell that can be applicable to certain situations you might not have even thought to think about. So I would tell them that to give him a shot because he's definitely very impactful in a lot of different ways. And each business is different. And when you give him the details, he really takes the time to think about it and get back with you on his thoughts. And he is very caring about each individual situation.
Definitely, definitely a very understanding person. I've known him for over 15 years. He's helped me a lot, much in the same way he's helped you, just in different areas and stuff. Very knowledgeable person for sure. Well, Lindsay, I want to thank you for taking the time to share your experiences with John Farr, the salon doctor, with us today. And I would tell you, hey, do a great job there for Chili Peppers Tanning, but it sounds like you already are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot.
And peak 2025 is just right around the corner. And I believe that 2025 is going to be a very good step up year from where we've been. So sign up for the free consultation. Look down below. You'll see where you can click on to start your journey to a whole new level of sales for your salon and accomplishments for your employees. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and we're going to get you going down the path that you need. Hope you're having a good third quarter, and let's make sure that we get ready for fourth quarter of 2024 and peak season 2025. Have a good one.